So here's our pond on the residence. We bought this house about 3 years ago, February-ish. Of course, with it being cold, the pond was clear. I didn't think much of it. But if you look at it now, you'll see we've got that growing in the pond, which we've had. I've always used copper sulfate to kill it. But for whatever reason, I can't find any at the Royal King anymore. And then as we scan down this coast side, right through here, I had a fallen tree. You can see the trunk. And I had a bunch of honeysuckle growth. And then about right there, I had 2 or 3 trees coming in out of that bank. When we moved in, they had muskrats. You could see them swimming under the ice. And also when we moved in, this drive lane to the barn, the honeysuckle wall on your left was grown out all the way over to about the second track, or where you see Hemi. Yeah, right where Hemi's at's where it's about grown out to. So we took that first COVID summer and we cut all that back, burn it all. The wife said that I was just absolutely killing her and the kids, and they actually went on strike for about 2 weeks because I couldn't let it go. I get obsessive with things like that. But we got it all cut back. Same year I got this pond completely clean. I had weed trined it, sprayed over the top, copper sulfate, everything growing at the bottom, killed it all. Well, last year, I've got a neighbor here on the left and a neighbor on that side. That was an abandoned property for years. Someone purchased it. Apparently there was a pond over there, and they broke the dam. Water came across the neighbor's yard into my inlet right there, and this is what I got. Now what this is, it's a mix of duckweed, watermeal, and red Sylvania. We've tried multiple ways of treating it. I tried the weed trine. Weed trine does work, just not great. Plus, as it starts to die, it sucks oxygen out of the water. Now, I do have the 2 aerators, and that helps quite a bit. I also tried the all-natural method. I got tilapia last year, about 25 pounds. This is a 3/4 acre pond. The tilapia killed everything growing on the bottom. Everything. Didn't do a damn thing for this thing on top. So then I went back to spraying it again last year. And, well, little did I know that the tilapia were still eating the top stuff. So I think it was July. I came out here and I probably had 200, 300 dead fish floating all across the top. Mostly tilapia. I did have all of my carp passed away. And then I had 1 largemouth bass, which I assume made a tilapia, and a catfish, which I also believe ate a tilapia. So this year, we're trying sonar. Contacted the pond guy. I contacted ATAC Fish Services. They both suggested sonar. So here's the kicker with sonar. It works slow. It works real slow. Once it gets in the water chamber, it's supposed to last about 90 days. It took 2 gallons to treat this pond right here. Put it in about 2 weeks ago. Now, with that being said, my entire pond was covered when I put it in. But we also had really big storms the other night, so I'm not sure if the wind blew all the duckweed to the left and it got stuck, or if it's slowly starting to die. But this sonar is supposed to turn this duckweed white. It's also the only thing that they thought killed watermeal, which I didn't have till a neighbor 2 houses over who doesn't live there and wasn't there when I pounded on his door, and I've not seen since. drained his slop hole into ours. So we put 2 gallons of Sonar Genesis in. It goes about $400 a gallon. So you can see why it was our last choice. And then we're recommended to put 2 more gallons in 3 weeks, or what will be the beginning of July. That's the plan. I usually dye the water. It's usually a nice blue, black, but it's been under an entire coat of duckweed, so I didn't really see the point in dyeing it. The cool thing about the Sonar, though, is that there's no harm to pets, no harm to people, no harm to fish, wildlife. You can still drink the water, you can swim in the water, you can fish the water. So that is cool. The weed trying pretty much killed everything, but it was expensive. You had to hand applicate it. In our early battles with this, we actually had a net with floats, and we tried to scrape all of it off. Mission impossible. This stuff doubles in size every day. You might actually be able to see it over here by that duck house. That was a little contraption we had. And I'd have the kids staying on the dock, and we would try to rope it in. Well, heck, even before that, we had the boat. And with the boat, we would take a pool scoop and try to fill up a 5-gallon bucket, have the kids staying on the dock. The kids would go empty the bucket, and we'd hit it again. But all we were doing were chasing circles. So we're on to the Sonar now. We're 2 weeks into the Sonar. It does look like I have less duckweed, but again, I can't tell just because of how much rain we've gotten. And then with every time it rains, it dilutes the treated pond. So you can't put it in early before it starts growing, or it all goes out the port. They said at the earliest June. I tried to wait till mid-June. Maybe I got a little early with it. We'll see, but I'm gonna put 2 more gallons in July. Rainy season should be over. But this right here actually looks better than anything did last year until about December, when it got frozen in ice and disappeared. So I will post an updated video when I go to reapply the next 2. When I contacted ATAC Services about them applying it, because I wasn't sure. I've never messed with Sonar, and this is my first pond. They told me, look, you don't even want us to come out. Just buy it, pour it in, get it around the aerators, and then let it do its thing. So it's just as simple as standing on that dock. I pour in 1 gallon, and I come over here and I pour in another gallon, and the wind moves it back and forth. So try to zoom in on some of this duckweed. You see where it's turning white? That's the Sonar. And once it turns completely white, it just disappears. Again, I don't know. I've never seen it. But I'm hoping this works. It's definitely an expensive option. But we have a ton of muck at the bottom of this pond. There were no fish in it when we bought it. A turtle or 2, so the lady said. But we got it quoted on what it would cost for someone to drain this and redig it. Again, 3/4 of an acre. Dig down deep enough to hit blue clay. And I've gotten 2 quotes back now. And the lowest quote was $65,000. Yeah, I'm not made of money. So we're just going to try to treat it for now. In the future, rent an excavator, and then I'll try to dig it. We'll video that too. But until we get to that point, because I also have a ton of fish in this thing. I stocked it the first year we got it. I put in 25 pounds of minnows, 25 pounds of shiners, and then we got largemouth bass, striped bass, catfish, redfin, bluegill, hybrid bluegill, crappie, catfish, carp. And then I've replaced the carp that passed away last year And they're growing nicely. They came in about the length of my finger, and now I've got fish that are about the size of my palm. Catfish are about 3 pounds a piece. But I gotta get rid of this duckweed. It's just, the mosquitoes just lay on it and make eggs, and it almost makes the pool unbearable. So when I get my next 2 gallons, I'll give you an updated video. Thanks for watching.